مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear students, this is teacher Mohanned again with you and with a new lesson. It's on page 76 and 77. It's reading, so please prepare yourselves and prepare your books. We have two objectives for today's lesson, and they are: 1. Decide on the correct, false, and not mentioned for 7 statements after reading the text. Put the correct highlighted word in front of its definition using the 6 highlighted words from the text. These are our objectives, so let's begin. As you can see, the first one is true or false, not mentioned, and the second one is matching a word with its definition. We have a video here. We are going to watch it, and then you are going to try it. Pause the video and try by yourself. It's a puzzle. You can try it yourself. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Reading. Discuss in pairs or groups. Would you like to be famous? Why or why not? Well, I think, yes, I'd like to be famous. And do you think it is easy to stop being famous? Well, I don't think so. It's not easy to stop being a famous person. You see, being famous has advantages and disadvantages, and I think the disadvantages overcome the advantages. So if you want to be famous, there's a big price you are going to pay. Early success. This is reading. We are going to read, so listen carefully. At the age of 7, young mathematician Eric Drake made headlines when he appeared on a talent show and impressed the world with his cleverness and his lighting mathematics abilities. He became known as a young genius, and his life changed. Newspapers wanted to interview him, TV shows wanted to meet him, and universities wanted to teach him. His career was laid out ahead of him, and it promised to be a bright one. At 9 years old, he received a scholarship to study mathematics at university, and he graduated with top marks 2 years later, which is quite a feat. He was asked to stay on as a professor, teaching university students nearly twice his age. Imagine that, dear students. However, now approximately 16 years old, the teenager has announced he is taking a break from maths and giving up his position at the university. Many people can't understand why. Eric's success brought him many advantages. To begin with, it meant he could focus on what he loved, maths. Because of his talents, his teachers let him put all his efforts into maths. He never got in trouble when he didn't try properly in other subjects or forgot to do his homework, because he was always an excellent math student. And everyone knew he was going to become a famous mathematician. His success also brought him fame. People recognized him in the street. He was invited to popular social events and interesting university lectures. And he was also incredibly well known on social media. Of course, he made a lot of money as well. Even as a child, he took his family on exciting holidays, and best of all, he could afford to go to any university in the world, even without a scholarship. Being famous brought me many opportunities. He told reporters yesterday, "I've done things most people can only dream of. I've studied with some amazing scientists and mathematicians. I've traveled the world, and I've met some of the greatest minds of our time, including many of my personal heroes in science and maths." So why is he giving it all up? Eric admits that being famous has disadvantages. You feel that you have to do better and better. It's a lot of stress. Maths always relaxed me, but when I found myself unable to focus on a problem, I knew the stress was starting to get to me. Eric had a very different childhood from most children. While his friends were playing football and riding their bikes, he was indoors studying. I worked hard, very hard, and I feel I missed out on a lot. I didn't have time for any other hobbies. He also feels that the pressure of being in the public eye can be too much. He recently closed his social media accounts because he was tired of thousands of people watching his every word when all he wanted was to chat to his friends. For Eric, the advantages of his success were just too great. For now, he says he wants to spend some time on his own, read some books, and maybe learn a language. He still has a passion for maths, though, and plans on working in the field again when he is older, when he hopes people will no longer see him as a celebrity. Okay, dear students, you can pause the video, go back to the reading section, and check on your answers, or check on the information before you answer. Read again and write T for true, F for false, or N, M for not mentioned. Underline the parts of the text where you found your answers. 1. Eric won first prize in the talent show. That was not mentioned. Eric became a professor when he was just 16. That is false. Eric was not always good in other school subjects. That is true. Universities all over the world offered Eric scholarships. That is also not mentioned. Eric realized he was stressed when maths stopped being relaxing. That is true. Eric became famous when he appeared on social media for the first time. That is false. Eric plans to regain his fame later in the future. That is also false. Okay, dear students, correct the false ones. Let's begin with number 2. Became professor when he was just 16. Eric was not always good in other school subjects. Universities all over the world offered him. Okay, dear students, you can go back to the reading section and correct the false ones. You only have 3 false statements, 2, 6, and 7. Now read again. We have done that. What is the purpose of this text? To present a person's achievements, to describe the difficulties of success, or to show the pros and cons of early success? I think it is C. Yes, the purpose is to show the pros and cons of early success. Now underline where you found your answers. And this is number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Look at the highlighted words in the text and match them with their meanings. Check your answers in dictionary. Then use some of the words to make sentences of your own. You can try to guess the meaning of these words or the words by looking at the GIFs here. Look at this girl, as you can see, a very strong interest in something, enthusiasm. I think she's shopaholic. This is passion. Having to do with somebody and their interests. Personal. Correctly or right. Properly. A person who is very clever or good at something. Genius. The success and attention you get when you are famous. Fame. A feeling that a lot is expected from you. Pressure. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, we are about to finish our lesson. So before we do that, answer the following question. According to the text, what are the 2 advantages and disadvantages of being famous? Okay, I think we can go back to the lesson or the reading section. Just like that. As you can see here, in line 44 and 45, being famous brought me many opportunities. Studying with some amazing scientists, traveling the world, these are 2 advantages. What about disadvantages? Stress, this is 1. Look at line 53. You feel that you have to do better and better. It is a lot of stress. Different childhood or difficult childhood, I think. While his friends, this is in line 60 and 59, while his friends were playing football and riding their bikes, he was indoors studying. He missed out on a lot. This is on or in line 63. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of being famous. Okay, dear students, we have another one to go. Do you think you would react the same way Eric did? Why or why not? Well, I think yes, I would do or I would react the same as Eric, because these or the fame or being famous is not an easy matter. Okay, dear students, goodbye for now and see you on the next lesson.